challenge. New something to do. Let's fire up new music. Is it playing? Yes, it is. All right. This may be too loud. We'll see. I don't mind it. At this volume, I hope it's not bad for everybody else. We are doing something different today. And occasionally, over time, it'll be something we'll use to sort of break away from our usual Zelda streams. We have a... Oh, we can listen on Spotify. Maybe I should do that. Here. Link in the description. Yeah, let's do that instead. Because then we don't have to mess around with the audio so much. Of course, it did not open up the thing. Let's see here. Lord of the Rings Lo-Fi. This looks like it. Lovely AI image, of course. Let's see here. This is it, though. Okay. This will help keep the audio consistent. And let's jump in. We're going to make a new project, new everything. And maybe we'll just put it all in one big document for now. Let's turn off the noise. Not really dealing with color at this point. And let's adjust this. Here. This will take a second, but bastard. There we go. D&D studies drawn live. Okay, because this will be something we do for a little bit when we need a break from the Zelda stuff. Like some different creative muscles in our brains. And so, if I pull up some things here. Let me do myself a favor, make a new folder. Still putting 2024 on all my dates. essentially I've been asked by a very good friend. Oh, you mean last night? Yeah, don't worry about that. You're the real MVP of the modern day Join Max. I appreciate the wrangling of viewers and stuff like that. I thought it was so funny that I was like, oh, I'll follow this guy, and I was like, I already follow him. What I had been discussing last night is something we would try this morning. Is I have a friend who is finishing up a D&D campaign. It's one of those like 10 years long campaigns or something like that. And they've got all these little characters, and they've got references from them from this Hero Forge. Interesting. When does that happen? Here.
Hey, Daddy.
Hi there.
Can I show you on my piano?
You can, but you have to lift it out yourself, because, well, are you going to let her play it?
Well, I just want to show you the music.
Okay. Kiki, you guys can't play that in here? You guys can lift it out and move it out of here. Do it yourselves. You guys are big girls. It's not very heavy. It's very light. You can lift it. Yeah. You guys work together to lift it. There you go. Move. Fiona, it's caught on that thing. There you go. Fiona, help her.
Step out the way.
There you go. Daddy's office is like a pack rat. Fiona, grab one side. Grab it a little bit. There you go.
This is gonna be so hard to get out.
Put it upright. There you guys go. I'm proud of you. You guys working together to do it. Good job, guys. Okay, so here, let's try this. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Come on. Okay, here we go. These little fun characters that they've already taken the time to assemble and send over, and this is their party, essentially. These, I guess there's an app or a program. This is an iPhone thing, so it must just be an app. But you can make your little D&D characters here. And I guess you can even get them printed out or something. And there's one more they still have to send me that reference for. But just like any long project, they've got these, they've got these neat little things. And I don't play D&D. I guess I got into other addictions, but the it sort of dovetails with the Zelda art stuff, and I figure this is something where I think ultimately, it's not ultimately, but like in conjunction with doing what I do professionally, finding, D&D commissions are a thing, right? And these people have pledged to pay me in wine, which is a novel idea. Feels something very much, very, very, very D&D of them. Now, how much wine, I don't know. But it's rather besides the point, because this is a very good friend of mine that I would pretty much do anything for. So, to make some art that goes along with some of the themes that we've been working on here, it's a bit of a win-win. Now, if I can set this up in a way where I can keep that reference open, we'll be in business. Actually, I just thought of something, because this works. I can put up reference images in the chat, and then I can just look at them up here. I wonder if that's the best way to do it. Bear with me for a minute. Maybe I'll just pull up a reference image here. And so this is the idea. They want something to sort of commemorate them. They're about to, like, in their game right now, they're about to take on this dragon, which they've got a vendetta against because they went up against it a long time ago and it killed off one of their party members, so now they're back for vengeance. And then they'll be done with the campaign. So they need all their characters in it, and they need a dragon. And, you know, and their expectation levels are here, but this has piqued my interest as something that I can use to flex a little skill and treat as a learning experience for myself. What I want to do, and I'm in the process of asking them if they're amenable to this solution, is hi Kiki, I'm streaming right now. You want what?
Eggs.
You want eggs?
Yeah.
You can have eggs in a little bit.
Okay. So after you stream, can you make some eggs?
Yes. I'll take a break in a little bit and I'll make you some eggs.
And also how much you like cracking the eggs on the pan?
Okay. Maybe there's some way I can just make eggs right now. Oh, she's so cute. This is not like I already made her breakfast, and it wasn't a small breakfast either. So, all right, I must prioritize my family. I will come back to the stream. I'm sorry if anybody's watching, but it'll take like 5 minutes. All right, I'm gonna pause and come back. Adios. Okay, this will be interesting. I'm not sure if it'll just attach to the previous stream, but no sooner did I promise I would make the eggs, but the eggs are non-existent. We are out of eggs, and because the price of eggs right now are like $1 each in my area, there won't be any eggs around here for a little bit. But otherwise, that was the only impediment. All right, so we've got these fun characters, and we're gonna do some sketches. And my genius solution, this is pure genius, is what if instead of trying to think of it as like a fantasy book cover, what if I thought of it more like a cinematic solution, like a movie poster or a movie billboard? And so here we can see really bad movie posters of the past. Okay, so this is not... God, was that the official movie poster? That couldn't have been. Interesting options for... What is all this? Why am I getting text messages? Okay, that's good. Okay. Alright. Craziness averted. But, yeah, the idea of creating... Oh God, that's bad. Are any of these good? Of course, this image is really, low res. A lot of these are all like fan arts, people trying to do better versions, and actually the original movie posters were not that good. I'm sorry to say to whoever made them originally. We go here. Here's another example. Rain of Fire. Sort of a terrible film. I don't know. It might have redeemed itself. Maybe it wasn't that bad, but at the time I remember thinking it was nothing impressive. And then, so maybe it's something akin to this. They'll have all these types of characters. There's like 6 or 7 of these characters. They need to have a dragon, artfully composed in a composition, and even if there's, you know, a simple title treatment, that could look awesome. So it could be working in a vertical format or in a horizontal format, because movies come in posters and they come in billboards too. So either of those actually works, as long as I pick one specifically. And so we'll see if they like that idea. Otherwise, it'll, I don't know, have to be something similar to, I don't know, a Zelda painting, I guess. But we'll start with some studies, and these studies will come from these guys, but we're gonna sort of improve on them. I'll probably do like a faithful drawing first, and then a sort of improved version, and just see how this goes. This looks like a decent guy to start with. So the new music is from a lo-fi Lord of the Rings playlist. And hopefully it's DMCA friendly. I don't see why it wouldn't be. But it probably isn't. But it's not the world's worst thing. Okay, it's been a while since we worked in black and white on this stream. Okay, I actually prefer this reference up here. We're going to do a little... Yeah, now I remember why I did it this way. Okay, that's not going to go up there if I do that. A little tricky. If I put this here, you all can see it, and then I can open another. Now, the preview tool for Mac OS is terrible because it somehow sucks up all my video card bandwidth or something. It's like greedy. Okay, but now I can see it and you can see it. And today's a joyous day because I found my stylus. My trusty one that I love. I have several backups, but this is the one that feels right. Just in my hands. Okay. Which tool? Need a bigger brush than that. Oh, I forgot that we were sort of drawing these in like a group, essentially. Let's make a little grid. Nah, fuck the grid. Just zoom in a bit. Okay, so this is... %. That's decent. Yeah. Okay. And this is the tricky part. These little statues are sort of low poly in a kind of Warhammer 3 aesthetic, and they're just posed. They're posed in a way that sort of has the conceit of dynamism. You know, this guy's crouched low. Got his limbs poking out from one way to the next. But there's very little flow in the pose. They're very stiff. They're stiff like cadavers. And some of the anatomy doesn't seem like it makes much sense. But I'm going to do my best to make a quick, faithful representational sketch. And what this will do is it'll sort of load up in my brain ideas on how to... Because my brain is fighting what's wrong with the sketch. It's trying to solve as it goes. And right now I'm trying to not make it do that. I don't want it to do that necessarily right now. are cool. I mean, the service itself is kind of remarkably cool. Little representational figures, obviously, are going to help bridge the appeal for people who perhaps don't have particularly vivid imaginations, but like the idea of arguing around a tabletop and playing a game that goes on forever. I'll play this music for, let's see here, another, well, we'll give it an hour. Ultimately, I don't want to have the whole thing struck down if there is an issue with the music. About the whole pose. This character has big ears. The proportions of this are sort of strange to me. Of course, this guy's like a halfling or whatever, very small character. There was a handy description written up, sort of detailing their heights and stuff relative, which is helpful for me. And one of the characters is 6 foot tall. One of the characters is like 3 feet tall. So it is very much akin to a Lord of the Ringsy sort of fellowship. I'm not even really trying to think too much. What's clear to me, I can just feel it in my hands, is that I haven't really done much sketching in a while. Now, I worked yesterday, actually, and I did a lot of sketching and drawing yesterday, and I'll tell you something, my hand was fighting it. It was, I had to force it, and the reason for that is because I had nearly 7 days of not sketching and very little streaming because of the winter break. That really tends to be disruptive to my profession, the flow that I use, where I'm drawing without thinking too much. And what ends up happening is I'll draw and I'll draw and I'll draw until my hand hurts. And then I'm sort of forced at that point to take a different tack. And if your hand ever hurts when you are drawing, that could be due to several different things. But if it's a fatigue issue, and hopefully it is, probably the best thing to do is go into your settings. If you're drawing on a tablet, go into your settings and make it so that your pressure sensitivity is higher. The higher your pressure sensitivity, the more sensitive your tablet is to pressure, the less hard you have to push down to make a mark. And because your hand is sort of in pain, you're less inclined to push down hard anyway. So it'll match better where you're at. And then keep drawing, because when your hand is sort of broken down like that, unable to mount much resistance to your will, you can you can really start to make progress. Getting into that muscle memory stuff. An exercise like this, where we are just essentially drawing from reference, for me it's like nothing. It's like walking. I can pay attention, or I can think about other things. It's almost better to not pay too much attention. Just go by feel. Yeah, I hope this music works out. It's pretty cool. Some of the tracks are cool. Bit of shade across the face. It's got that Timothy Chalamet kind of look. Let's do a quick save. Check in with the old text messages and emails, and so far so good. It's pretty quiet. I'm not booked today, and that's good. I've got some personal plans that I hope don't get interrupted. I'll talk about them later. This is an interesting dagger. One, two, three. Looks like some sort of ice dagger. Blue crystal. Unfortunately, I can't make out a lot of detail in this other boot. That's okay. We can just assume it's the same kind of deal. And it's in shadow. It's like really not that important anyway. Oh, you didn't get the note? It's okay. It's probably because I started it up almost immediately afterward. It may have just simply continued the stream. I wouldn't be too surprised. So the explanation there. The explanation there is I went to go make the eggs and open the fridge, and there were no eggs in the fridge because we had used them to cook my wife's birthday cake on New Year's, and we haven't bought any more. So Yeah, made a little progress on this. I wonder if it's worth making a what if we tried and do something cool? Cool or cringe? We'll see, but because we're sort of in learning and experiment mode, try some different approaches. And I'm not trying to make like a perfect copy. That's not what this is. But if I can do a little bit to learn as we go. Lighten up little bits. Okay, yeah, that seems to work. Seems cool. My cousin's coming over, so you may go radio silent. Cool. Appreciate you popping in. This will be it's not strictly fan art. It doesn't need to be. It certainly won't be anything that I would expect anybody to give a shit about unless they were either in the party, the D&D party, or they were fans of D&D in the first place. It could possibly end up looking cool just in the end as a fantasy illustration. But I don't see any. But it represents a fun challenge. Like, how can I present these characters I know nothing about in a way that honors them and their quest? It's interesting. I can't tell if these are meant to be glowing eyes, but it's kind of cool if it is. Right now I'm using a brush blending mode on the brush. Cool art is cool art. That's what I'm hoping will be the result here. And there is a there's a proliferation of AI art in the Dungeons and Dragons sort of fan base, where I don't feel like it's being it's not being as repudiated. It could, I mean, the Magic the Gathering, a lot of people are like upset about AI art being used in like the Magic the Gathering stuff. So I'm encouraged by seeing that, but not everybody is going to give a shit. And that's okay. It's fine. But maybe I could do something that feels like it offers a alternative. That hair is a challenge. Adding information. Relationships of light and dark. Organized and clear. Sort of interesting. It's a subtle thing, but I can tell that on the edge of this dagger is brighter as well. Nothing that needs to get photoreal or anything, but it's just cool to mess around with some of this different stuff and learn. An exercise like this is great for the warm-up idea, you know. I usually draw so much that warming up is sort of like a joke. We don't need to warm up. We're still warm from yesterday, usually. But lately, because work has been slow due to the seasonal issues, and then just streaming the Zelda stuff. And the Zelda stuff is not sketching, that's coloring. It's like uses a completely different part of my brain.
No parent should have to bury their child.
Hardly perfect, but maybe I cut into it with some of these. Silhouettes a little bit. Also, when doing these sort of studies, it's It's great to get the mind a little primed for seeing opportunities of different points of interest on the body that would be interesting to see sort of featured in a pose. Obviously, this guy's got a cool dagger. That must be super important. And I can see the different pitfalls, things I need to watch out for. All these different sort of armored attachments are angled, but in a way that I can use them to really communicate the flow of the pose when we get to that point. You can see I did an imperfect job on his face. Not too bad for the first sketch of the day. Bit of a challenging pose because it's just sort of awkward. It feels a little more faithful. I think I over-indexed on the anime here, but I think it's good. Yeah, this is cool, cool music. Are we still in the same thing? Yeah. digging this. Add to library. Let's try messing with some things. Because I can never help myself. Merged. Overlay. Little dodge and burn. All right, cool, fun study. Let's do another. I need to write down their names. Do we have that? Okay. Welby, the halfling with the dagger. He runs a criminal underworld that does some crime, but usually only against people that deserve it. Started off as an assassin, now running his own network of spies and informants. He was technically killed by the green dragon. He got better, so as a bit of a vendetta. So he has a bit of a vendetta. Sneaky, but follows a code. Terrible with other people. Sounds like an interesting fellow. He's part of the Assassin's Creed. Some of these sections. A little bit of a light bleed. We'll have the effect of some atmospheric perspective. messing everything up, but still kind of cool. Okay. Next guy. Oh yeah, let's write Welby here.
Do not come between the Nazgul and his prey.
Welby. Welby. Based assassin. Let's see what's next. Could be eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Might as well do this guy. This is interesting. Let's read a little bit about the character. Carwin, the guy with wings. Cocky, charming, he believes, but a liar and a cheat who somehow does good things. Grew up basically an orphan after his human mother died. He's half elven. And ran cons on the street using his innate magical powers until an older con man took him under his wing and became his mentor. Incredibly powerful, but has no idea where his power comes from. But he knows he has copper dragon blood running through his veins, hence the wings, and he also has some scales on his skin, so that's interesting. The scales on the skin detail, I'm not sure if I'll see very well. But we can certainly get started with a sketch. What happened here? Why did that happen? Jeez. Don't you love it when that happens? What am I supposed to do about that? And it goes right back. That's wonderful. Okay, I think I can just reset all these layouts since I change them all the time anyway. Quick save. Okay, and so I'm referencing the same image here in the corner, and it's up here on this screen too. And it's just easier for me to transpose one-to-one when it's sort of in a nearly direct line of sight. Now this angle is not impressive. That may not be his... You know, he's not a barbarian, a fearsome barbarian. Sort of like a powerful magical being. A mysterious, powerful magical being. I don't love the pose, but let's try to be faithful. Sort of has this line of action going like that. And my mind is gonna try to correct as it goes. Don't really want it to. And it must be a... That's interesting. Okay. Shoulders this way. Hips necessarily this way. It's just, the poses are very leveled out, despite having some intention of being a little bit dramatic. They don't have the rotation, I think is what it's missing. So despite all the detail, they're kind of like Gumby characters. So we'll fix that eventually. His hand is rested here on this hip. That means this one is the highest. This is the high hip. And if this is the high hip, then the bulk of the weight of his body has to be on that leg. Which means this one here has all the slack. And the bend, even though it looks in the reference image that they're just sort of like both bent and both crossed, doesn't really happen. And I'm messing up the proportions here, but we're going to tweak those in the end anyway, because what I assume is that because these are meant to be tabletop figures that are recognizable as a distance, they just over-index on the size of their heads. It doesn't mean I'm trying to fix that right now, so I'm going to try and correct as I go, getting closer to the reference image. This is Carwin. This is not Lord of the Rings. It's cool though. So the way it looks like this spine, the spine, the line of action here, how it's not sort of centered up with the body, that's part due to the mixed perspective of the suboptimal posing of the reference figure, and the fact that there is a difference between the pose of the spine versus the pose of the front of the body. And the line of action represents neither. The line of action sort of represents the energy of the center of gravity of the subject. Oftentimes that's aligned with the core, but sometimes it isn't, and then in this case it's just a mess because of the weird posing, but I'm not going to draw a bad line of action. Anyway, we have what we need here to continue, so I do wonder what this... I guess it's like some sort of fearsome looking lantern. Let's give them some more space. Okay, and now we have the final image that just came in. So my buddy whom I'm discussing has just emailed me with the final bit of detail. I'll just download it now. He's gonna... apparently they're playing tonight, so they'll discuss my idea of having the final format be akin to a movie poster, but I think they'll love it, and they should. So this guy looks cool. I like the look of him. Lover of books and magic. Very cool. All right, so good. Add him into the list of things to get done today. We'll see how it goes. Let's see here. Been streaming almost an hour. My watch is already telling me to get up. However, I will not. I will continue on for a little bit longer. You know what just occurred to me right now is that it used to be like, why is he going on? You know, it's not like, why is that streamer going on break or whatever? You know, that's not very good. But I just put together right this second that it's good for the audience even to take their own breaks. So it's sort of like a self or like a forced break, if you will, in the attention. So it's like, hey, audience, like, go eat, go stand up, go drink. for no reason. Okay. So let's turn that off. He has a look of that Loki character to him. Sort of that elf bone structure. I guess he is elfish.
It's done. Yes, Mr. Frodo. It's over now.
A little effeminate. I'm not getting a good sense of like exactly what's going on with the hair. Something like that might work. Thin neck. He said that there is not likely an issue if there is a... He'll run into past the group, but shouldn't be any issue with having a... having the process documented on stream. Its wings aren't big enough. Let me see what I can do about that. There is a sound that I need to figure out. It needs my attention, so I will be right back. All right. Everything's fine. So. No worries there. Proportions look better. As far as the wings, I'm going to tweak a couple things because while I definitely will solve for some of these issues later on, I'm not trying to fix things that are necessarily problematic right now. So this is probably closer to the proportions that we're actually seeing. All right. I'm not sure what this interesting thing is. I mean, it looks like a I mean, it's pretty clearly a lantern, but we all know I love lanterns, but it's not any kind of style that I recognize, so it's what I'm worried about is if it's super important and I mess up a detail, but it probably wouldn't make it into the final composition. Unless it was like perfectly attached to his body and he couldn't separate it with it for as part of a curse or something like that. Yes, this is the tricky part. Here's something I messed up. This tilt needs to go like that. Previously, I had it like this. That can't happen. The more we index it this way, the better. But in the reference image, it's almost level. And it's stuff like that that can really trick up a pose. And especially if, like, an artist isn't really sure, should it go left, should it go right, they might think it's best to straddle and put it in the middle, which is sort of what I accidentally did, not even really thinking about it. But like that is like half the time there's a problem with it, with any pose. It's because the shoulders are going one way, and then if you look at the hips, they're going the same way as the shoulders. And that just doesn't work unless someone is about to fall over. So fix your drawings, make your belts go in a different way than the shoulders. Uncle Max told you so. Making it clear that one leg is coming out in front of the other. These shoes are all oversized. Like on all these characters, it's like the arms and the legs and the shoes are all oversized. And that's something I should talk to them about. I'm like, how faithful to the proportions of these miniatures do you want to be? Because on some of them, it seems a little far from realistic and may not be in the aesthetic of what I was originally envisioning. Here we see the wings, and then they've got these ribbed sort of structures on them, and that's an opportunity for us to control perspective a little bit, even though they didn't do a good job of it in the model. Not a great, well, they did an okay job, but we can really make sure that part of the wing feels like it's going away and then coming back towards us. By controlling the perspective on those, the way it's sort of, the ribs are sort of bent to and from, thinking of it like a slinky almost. There's some sort of decorative cuff with spikes, very edgy. Claws. Very StarCraft. So all this looks good. God, there's spikes all over this lantern, aren't there? I just thought of a couple other soundtracks that I could play. They're probably both DMCA'd, but the Return to Zork soundtrack was pretty cool. Huh. New. They're all return to work soundtracks. That's terrible. Because while I like this, it feels like that's a repeat. Yeah, that's just repeating. Yeah, that won't do. All right. Boy, let's see if this works. Oh, cool. Yeah. All right, let's try this. Uh-oh. Ready? Such a weird game, but the soundtrack stuck with me. A couple of joints. Let's be a little bit more intentional. In the reference image, they sort of come out like that, as if they're sort of trying not to make a decision. Let's make a decision. Let them follow the form. With some intentionality, right? Audiences don't typically love when creators straddle in between making decisions about what something is or what it looks like. It can make your audience anxious because the information isn't clear and they think they're supposed to know it. If the audience thinks they're supposed to know something and they don't know it, then they'll get anxious and they won't like it, but they won't know why. And they won't know what to tell you to give you good feedback. They're not going to be able to tell you it doesn't look like you made the right decision right there. Because they'll look and they'll see hard work and that all the detail you put into it. They're not going to be aware of what you left on the table. Here I am making a clear decision that the that there's another articulation, how it goes away and then comes back, the wingtip. It's clear. It doesn't just go out and back, it goes out, back, and then curves again towards camera to see something extremely cool. So that looks pretty cool. So for this one, something better. Of course, look at this. I've done a bad job of perhaps more like this. The children are upstairs having fun, and it sounds like a slaughter. I think if anybody asks, I'll lie and I'll say, "Oh, these are my OCs." Aren't I clever? It looks pretty good. Yeah, so the pose itself, I know it's supposed to be like a cocky sort of look. It just feels like it's more bitchy than anything. We'll help that along as we go. This is the wrong size. It's close to this, closer to this. It's nearly as big as his torso. And then, of course, that means I got a lot of the other proportions wrong too, but that's okay. Make this bigger. More representative of what's in front of our eyes. Good or bad? The music in this game is weird, but it's okay. There are some fun hidden gems. And sometimes I use a little drawing hack to just quickly enhance a sketch, which is if you just sort of underscore. I mean, the darkest places on a sketch can get some tonal shading for sure, like the eyes, maybe some of the hair. Weird music on this one. So what are they even saying? My little drawing hack is to underscore the underside of planes, so like here, like right, but ignore the top one. And then you can use it to feel out overlaps a little bit. Essentially what it does is it creates some sort of relief sculpture effect to the image. And it ends up looking good. I've had a lot of success with it as just a quick way of even tightening up really rough drawings. Clients have always responded well with it, or at least they tell me they do. Sometimes I wonder. And it especially works well when viewed at a distance, which is the most important thing. It means it's telegraphing or reading well at a distance. Because as artists, like, you know, we work like super up close to stuff, but most people don't get that close to an image when they see it for the first time. And they make up their mind in a split second whether or not they like something that they see. And if someone has to like rationalize or like think about whether or not they like something, you've missed the mark, unfortunately. It should be an instantaneous love at first sight kind of reaction. They should say, wow, I love it. And then they'll look closer and tell you why they love it. But ideally, it completely bypasses their sort of critical thinking, rational thought, control centers of their consciousness. Bypass all that. Go straight to the lizard brain. This is a cool track. Do you see how I didn't need to connect those two lines? Just a little bit to sort of indicate. Throw it from one point to the next, the eye line, enough to make it clear what's overlapping what. Same deal there. The exchange is clear. little bit of a contact shadow. I mean, it's kind of like a whole rendering style. I could go for a long time, but there's the quick way to do this is the way that I'm doing it, which is you're just hitting the most obvious targets of opportunity. This is a rad song too. But nothing at the top. Chat is super quiet today. It's no biggie. Hopefully everybody has better things to do than watch me stream, but I'll reiterate that lurkers are welcome and there's no pressure to interact. I certainly move faster without the need for pleasantries, although they're much appreciated if anybody wants to say hi. Or has any questions. This is an educational stream. Okay. I mean, there's probably little areas I've missed, but you can see it reads well at a distance. Better than this guy. This is good. Getting warmed up. You know what I see? Because it's all zoomed in. There's just a few more sort of details here, here. Which is probably important. I just don't want to ignore important things. Almost to the end. Almost to the end of Zork. And then you can listen to... This stuff probably is DMCA'd, but I've been curious for a while. What is the... What is it called? The Seventh Guest soundtrack. Cheap viewers. You are banned. That's all. That always is a good sign. You've got no one in your chat. Here's some cheap viewers. Seventh guest is not on Spotify anymore. Did it move? Did it go away? Did it get taken down? That'd be a shame if it did. I mean, I still have it around. Guest soundtrack. 1 hour expanded score. Okay, this guy is Carlin. Let's write his name down. Okay. Here. Zork is done. Bye-bye, Zork. Let's see if this one... Let's see if any of these work. These first two are kind of a remix. Let's skip that. Let's do complete soundtrack. Let's see if this is it. 27 minutes long. Wow. The fandoms for these games. Little dodge and burn. Helps it a little bit, you know? Alright. Yeah, Carwin. Carwin. Half elf, half question mark. Half elf, half scoundrel. Yeah, sounds like fun. There you go. I'm all lit up like that. Alright, let's see here. What is next? Sort of go in order here. This one is next. Suppose doesn't look too bad. So there's the reference image. Everyone can see it. So let's see how far I get in 20 minutes. And on the off chance that anybody's curious, those put in my junky links. Let's try a slightly different tack, a light gray set to multiply. This character looks tall. Kind of hard to tell, but because the head doesn't look tiny, that probably means more heroic proportions. So the Seventh Guest was a terrifying puzzle game about a bizarre, cruel doll maker that basically sold his soul to the devil and had the ability to create toys that became after selling his soul to the devil, he essentially gained the power to create toys that were irresistible to the to children, and they became sought over. Everyone knew his toys were the best, but after being acquired, the children would play with them, but they would turn sick, and eventually the toys, they would die, and you know, essentially their souls are trapped in the dolls or whatever. And then how did the dolls get into the house? Like, why are the dolls at the house? Wouldn't they be at the house where the children died? There's nothing about the story that actually makes sense, but the aesthetic is so in the mood. It was just perfect. Plays out like a murder mystery game. You don't even know who you are as the protagonists. You're just this entity going around, clicking on objects, trying to move puzzles around and get to the next room, essentially. But the music and at the time, state-of-the-art computer-generated graphics it was sort of a precursor to Myst, or it may have even come out at the same time or after Myst. I'm not sure. We had both. Both were creepy. Both were hard to process as a young kid. Like, what is this? Why is it giving me nightmares? But anyway, no spoilers. But it had these great soundtracks, because a puzzle could take a long time to figure out. So they had these great looping tracks. Different songs for different areas, all composed, and it's like very mysterious. Some of them sound like toy instruments. Some of them sound like chimes from doorbells or clocks. Essentially, you know, sounds of a haunted house. Haunted pianos. Shoulders going this way, hips going this way. Has to be. Ten more minutes. We can read into this character a little bit. Who's this one? Aluranda, the bald green one. Religious leader, a bit brutal when it comes to punishing bad guys. A healer, though, so she's the one usually taking care of us. She also keeps the checkbook, as she doesn't really trust anyone else with the money. She wields a mace. Yes, checks out. That was used by her deity. So, pretty important in her religious order, which is the same as Nulara. It's a different character. She's part water genie and was cast out of her small fishing village for being a freak. That's probably why she's untrustworthy. Untrustworthy or untrusting? I think that might have been a... Cool armor design.
I heard singing upstairs, like some mad choir.
I heard nothing except you rummaging around your room, yelling like a crazy man. I saw blood.
Don't know how to describe what I saw. Why, none of you has ever seen
None of the rest of us saw anything. How boring. I suggest we all leave and have some supper.
I think that we were meant to eat the soup. Wait, we need some rules. We need to stick together, play as a team.
Don't be such a bold dog.
It's a game. That's why we're invited. It's a game. Everyone for himself. Or herself. Crazy old star is watching us, scaring us, watching us play at his puzzles. Only he knows the rules. Only Staff knows the rules.
The character Stauf is a likely a sort of a modern corruption or reorientation of the character Faust. Character Faust from the well, it's a play called Faust, right? Where the guy makes a deal with the devil to whatever, save his daughter. Yeesh. Well, no more of that. Yeah. That's cool armor. So these poses are great studies. They will not be repurposed, however, for the final artwork. This is just for education and good practices. For my own learnings. Hey, Fiona. Yeah, I dig this armor. It's kind of cool. Yeah, it's not a bad little study. Quick study there. Got 3 minutes. Try and hype it up with. Squeeze you till you pop. Dramatic. That's a funny track. Okay, and now this is Aluranda. Is it done already? Oh, nearly done. Nearly done. Oh well. Nope, pause that. All right, let's write down. What happened to...
Daddy,
Yes.
Piano was asking to see Emily's ash.
No, you can't see it, but hey guys, in 5 minutes I'm going to make you mac and cheese, okay?
Mac and cheese! Mac and cheese!
Okay.
Mac and cheese!
There's a cool track somewhere. Let's see if I can find it. No. Dude, that's a full soundtrack. Is this it? I love it when they say full soundtrack and then it's not the full soundtrack. This is essentially the one I wanted. Aluranda. Aluranda. Untrusting zealot. Not in my room.
Oh my god.
That's cool. All right, that's cool. All right, let's call it a stream there. I might stream again later. This is off to a good start, though. The hardest part of anything is just getting started. Rhonda, this is Carwin. We can move these guys around, make room for others, which is what we'll do. Put a few others down here. We'll sort of compromise our study sketches before we get into the composition. So, not bad so far. I'm looking at everything we did so far. Pretty cool. All right. If anybody's listening, thanks for joining. Catch you next time, and adios.